In a world filled with distractions, dilemmas, and ethical challenges, one philosophy stands the test of time: Stoicism. Discover the secrets of leading a more ethical, virtuous, and fulfilling life as we dive into the wisdom of the Stoics. Welcome to this exploration of Stoicism and its profound connection to ethical living. We'll delve into the principles and practices of Stoicism and how they can guide us towards leading a more ethical and fulfilling life. Stoicism is an ancient philosophical school of thought that teaches us how to find tranquility and virtue in a chaotic world. Its relevance to ethical living lies in its focus on wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, which serve as the foundation for making morally sound decisions and living a life of purpose. In this video, we'll first establish a solid understanding of Stoicism and its key principles. Then we'll explore how to apply Stoic philosophy to ethical living, diving into practical techniques for ethical decision-making. Real-life examples and challenges will help illustrate these concepts, and we'll conclude with tips for getting started on your Stoic journey. Stoicism is a philosophical school of thought that originated in ancient Greece around the 3rd century BCE and later became popular in Rome. It was founded by Zeno of Citium and was heavily influenced by the teachings of earlier philosophers, including Socrates and the Cynics. Stoicism is centered on the belief that we should focus on what is within our control and accept what is beyond our control with equanimity. It advocates for the development of moral and intellectual virtues to achieve eudaimonia, or a flourishing life. Stoicism is built upon a set of core principles and values. 4 cardinal virtues are central to Stoic ethics. Wisdom. This virtue encourages us to seek knowledge and understanding, especially about what is truly valuable in life. Courage. Stoicism teaches us to have the courage to do what is right, even when it's difficult or unpopular, and to face adversity with strength. Justice. Stoics emphasize treating others with fairness and respect, advocating for principles of fairness and social responsibility. Temperance. This virtue calls for moderation in all aspects of life, from desires and indulgence to lifestyle choices, leading to more sustainable and ethical living. These virtues are the building blocks of Stoic philosophy and play a vital role in leading an ethical life. The Stoic perspective on living a virtuous life centers on the pursuit of eudaimonia, a state of flourishing or living in accordance with nature. To achieve this, Stoicism encourages the cultivation of moral and intellectual virtues, as mentioned earlier. Stoics believe that living virtuously is the key to a fulfilling and ethical life. Virtue in Stoicism is the only true good, and everything else is considered indifferent. This means that external circumstances, such as wealth, social status, or health, should not be the primary focus of our efforts. Instead, we should concentrate on developing and practicing these virtues. Virtue, according to Stoicism, is not only a means to living ethically, but also a source of tranquility. When one acts in accordance with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, they can face life's challenges with equanimity and inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. Stoicism emphasizes that we have control over our attitudes and choices, and that by living virtuously, we can lead a life that is both ethical and deeply fulfilling. The role of reason and rationality. In Stoicism, wisdom is foundational to ethical living. It involves the use of reason and rationality in making decisions. By approaching decisions with a clear mind and logical thinking, individuals can make choices that align with their values and principles. Avoiding hasty judgments and emotional reactions. Stoicism teaches us to avoid hasty judgments and emotional reactions. Instead, it encourages us to pause, reflect, and consider the long-term consequences of our actions. By doing so, we can make ethical choices that are rooted in reason rather than impulsive emotions. Standing up for what's right, even in the face of adversity. Courage is a core Stoic virtue that is essential for ethical living. It involves the willingness to stand up for what is right and just, even when it's challenging or unpopular. Stoics believe that by acting courageously in the face of moral dilemmas, we can contribute to a more ethical world. Confronting moral dilemmas with strength. Stoicism provides the strength to confront moral dilemmas by focusing on one's principles and values. It encourages individuals to act in accordance with their moral compass, even when facing difficult decisions or ethical challenges. Treating others fairly and with respect. Justice, as a cardinal virtue in Stoicism, is fundamental to ethical living. It involves treating others with fairness, respect, and equity. Stoics believe that by practicing justice in our interactions with others, we contribute to a more harmonious and ethical society. Promoting equality and social responsibility. Stoicism also encourages individuals to promote equality and social responsibility. This includes advocating for principles of fairness, standing up against injustice, and taking an active role in making the world a better place. By embracing justice in everyday actions, we can work towards a more ethical and just society. Moderation in consumption and lifestyle choices. Temperance is the Stoic virtue that emphasizes moderation and self-control. In the context of ethical living, temperance encourages us to be mindful of our consumption and lifestyle choices. By practicing moderation, we can reduce our environmental impact and lead a more sustainable life. Reducing waste and environmental impact. Stoicism's focus on temperance extends to being responsible stewards of the environment. By reducing waste, conserving resources, and making environmentally conscious choices, we can align our lifestyle with ethical and sustainable values. Incorporating Stoic principles like justice and temperance into our daily lives can lead to a more ethical and sustainable way of living. Stoicism introduces the concept of the dichotomy of control to guide ethical decision-making. This concept distinguishes between what is within our control and what is beyond our control. Focusing on what is within our control. Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing our efforts and energy on things we can control, such as our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. By directing our attention to these aspects, we can make ethical choices that align with our principles. Letting go of what is beyond our control. Conversely, Stoicism advises that we accept what is beyond our control with equanimity. External events, the actions of others, and circumstances beyond our influence should not unduly affect our ethical decisions. By letting go of attachment to outcomes we can't control, we maintain our inner peace and ethical resolve. Stoicism encourages the practice of negative visualization to appreciate what we have and develop gratitude and contentment. Imagining worst-case scenarios to appreciate what we have. Negative visualization involves briefly contemplating worst-case scenarios. to remind ourselves of the impermanence of life and the importance of appreciating our current blessings. This practice can cultivate gratitude and a deeper sense of fulfillment in ethical living. Developing gratitude and contentment. By regularly engaging in negative visualization, Stoics can become more aware of the value of their present circumstances, fostering gratitude for the good in their lives and contentment in their ethical choices. Stoicism promotes the practice of mindfulness and self-reflection for ethical decision-making. Daily practices to assess and improve ethical choices. Stoics often engage in daily reflection to assess their actions and decisions, identifying areas where they may have fallen short of their ethical principles. This process allows for continuous improvement and growth in ethical living. Recognizing personal shortcomings and areas for growth. Self-reflection helps individuals identify personal shortcomings, biases, and areas for growth. By acknowledging these aspects, Stoics can work on becoming better, more ethical individuals. These Stoic techniques, including the dichotomy of control, negative visualization, and self-reflection, offer practical guidance for making ethical decisions and cultivating virtue in everyday life. Ancient Stoic philosophers left us with numerous examples of how they applied Stoicism to lead remarkably ethical lives. Here are a few notable anecdotes. Born a slave, Epictetus became one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers. He demonstrated Stoic principles by living a life of contentment despite his enslaved status. He taught that while we cannot control our circumstances, we can control our reactions, and he focused on nurturing the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, served as an advisor to Emperor Nero. Throughout his life, Seneca exemplified the Stoic virtues. He advocated for justice and often provided wise counsel to Nero, even though it was a challenging and dangerous position. Ultimately, Seneca's unwavering commitment to Stoic principles led to his own demise when he was ordered to take his own life. As a Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius is considered one of the most famous Stoic practitioners. His meditations provide a personal insight into how he applied Stoicism in a position of great power. He emphasized self-discipline, justice, and humility in his rule, striving to be a just and virtuous leader. These ancient Stoic philosophers serve as inspiring examples of individuals who applied Stoic principles to lead ethical lives in various circumstances. Their stories demonstrate the enduring relevance of Stoicism in promoting ethical living. In addition to the historical examples of Stoic philosophers, it's valuable to explore practical scenarios where Stoicism can guide ethical decision-making in everyday life. Dealing with personal setbacks. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. In personal setbacks, such as losing a job or facing health issues, Stoic principles can provide the resilience to maintain ethical choices and keep a positive attitude. Responding to conflict. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining composure and rationality in the face of conflict. By practicing Stoic techniques, individuals can navigate disputes with fairness and justice, avoiding reactive or harmful responses. Consumer choices. Ethical consumption is a critical aspect of modern life. Stoicism's emphasis on temperance and moderation can guide individuals in making responsible and sustainable consumer choices, reducing waste and minimizing their environmental impact. Social responsibility. Stoicism encourages individuals to take an active role in promoting justice and fairness in society, whether through volunteering, advocating for social causes, or participating in community initiatives. Stoic principles can inspire ethical and socially responsible actions. Ethical leadership. Stoicism can guide leaders in making principled decisions that benefit their organizations and society as a whole. Leaders can apply Stoic wisdom and courage to lead with integrity and fairness. By discussing these practical scenarios, we can see how Stoicism can be a valuable framework for ethical decision-making in contemporary life. Stoicism, like any philosophy, is not without its criticisms and challenges. Here are some common criticisms and how Stoics respond to them. Emotional suppression. Some argue that Stoicism promotes emotional suppression. However, Stoics emphasize not suppressing emotions, but rather understanding and managing them rationally. Emotions are seen as natural responses, and Stoicism teaches us to choose our responses wisely. Detachment from the world. Critics may claim that Stoicism encourages detachment from the world. Stoicism, on the contrary, encourages active engagement with the world, while recognizing that external events are often beyond our control. By focusing on virtue and ethical living, Stoics seek to contribute positively to society. Overemphasis on individual control. Critics may contend that Stoicism places too much emphasis on individual control and neglects systemic issues. Stoicism acknowledges that not everything is within our control, but it emphasizes that we should still act justly and seek to influence our environment positively. Stoicism is a versatile philosophy that can be combined with various ethical frameworks to create a more holistic approach to ethical living. Here are a few examples of how Stoicism can be integrated with other ethical systems. Combining Stoicism with utilitarianism allows individuals to weigh the consequences of their actions in terms of overall happiness, while also making ethical choices based on Stoic virtues. For example, a Stoic utilitarian might prioritize helping those in need, while ensuring that their actions align with Stoic principles like wisdom and justice. Virtue ethics, similar to Stoicism, places a strong emphasis on cultivating moral virtues. Stoicism can enhance virtue ethics by providing practical techniques for practicing virtues and maintaining equanimity in the face of adversity. Kantian ethics, centered on the categorical imperative, can be complemented by Stoic wisdom and courage. When faced with moral dilemmas, a Kantian adhering to Stoic principles might find the courage to act in accordance with the categorical imperative, even in challenging circumstances. Combining Stoicism with environmental ethics allows individuals to live in harmony with nature while maintaining ethical values. Stoicism's principle of temperance aligns well with environmental ethics by encouraging minimalism, reduced consumption, and responsible stewardship of the environment. Feminist ethics emphasizes issues related to gender equality and justice. Stoicism can complement feminist ethics by promoting fairness, empathy, and the virtues of courage and justice. Individuals who integrate both philosophies can work toward gender equality while maintaining inner strength and composure. By combining Stoicism with these and other ethical frameworks, individuals can create a well-rounded ethical perspective that suits their values and beliefs while providing guidance for ethical living in various contexts. To get started on a Stoic journey toward ethical living, here are some practical steps that viewers can follow. Study Stoic philosophy. Begin by reading classic Stoic texts such as the writings of Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius to gain a deeper understanding of Stoic principles and values. Daily reflection. Commit to a daily practice of self-reflection to assess your actions and decisions. Identify areas where you can improve your alignment with Stoic virtues. Mindfulness exercises. Incorporate mindfulness techniques, such as negative visualization, into your daily routine to develop gratitude, contentment, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Seek a Stoic community. Join or engage with a Stoic community or study group to share insights, seek guidance, and learn from the experiences of others on a similar path. Apply Stoic principles. Begin applying Stoic principles in your daily life, especially in situations that require ethical decision-making. Practice wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in your actions and choices. Read modern interpretations. Explore modern books and resources that interpret Stoicism in a contemporary context. This can help you adapt Stoic principles to your specific ethical goals. Mentorship or coaching. Consider seeking guidance from a Stoic mentor or coach who can provide personalized support and advice on your ethical journey. By following these practical steps, viewers can start incorporating Stoicism into their lives and work toward a more ethical and fulfilling existence. In this video, we've explored how Stoicism can be a guiding philosophy for living an ethical life. We've delved into the fundamental principles of Stoicism, discussed how to apply these principles to ethical decision-making, shared real-life examples of Stoic philosophers, and considered the challenges and potential combinations with other ethical frameworks. We encourage you to integrate Stoic wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance into your daily life. By doing so, you can navigate the complexities of the modern world with greater ethical clarity and personal tranquility. Embrace the Stoic principles and work towards becoming a better, more virtuous individual. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of Stoicism and ethical living. If you found this video valuable, please consider liking and sharing it to help spread the Stoic philosophy. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. We're genuinely grateful for your time and engagement in this discussion of Stoicism and ethical living. Your interest in these important topics is appreciated. We encourage you to share your thoughts, questions, and personal experiences related to Stoicism and ethical living in the comments section below. Engaging in meaningful discussions with fellow viewers can enhance your understanding and provide valuable insights. In our upcoming and existing videos, we'll continue to explore topics related to philosophy, ethics, and personal development. Be sure to stay tuned for more thought-provoking content. Thank you once again for being part of our community and for your commitment to living an ethical and fulfilling life. Your support is instrumental in promoting ethical values in today's world.